What up, everybody? Brian Willis here, no relation to Bruce, and today we are talking about the brand new Toyota Land Cruiser Prado, the J250 to be specific. Fun fact: Prado means meadow or field in Spanish and Portuguese. You can eco-cash me as a thank you. Now let's move on to the design. Look, I'm sure a conversation happened between the head designer and the people at Toyota where the head designer asked the simple question, "Hey, how boxy do you want it?" And Toyota simply said, "Yes." Everything is boxy here. Well, except the wheels and the steering and that knob in the... Hey, you get my point. Don't get me wrong, I love this look. In fact, anyone who says this is ugly, I am willing to fight you. This is not an entirely new look to the Prado, though, as it paid homage to the original Prado, the J70, especially with the halo headlamp option. This shares the same platform as the Toyota Land Cruiser 300 series. Yes, that one. As well as the Toyota Tacoma and the Lexus GX. Now, inside, it's quite a solid looking interior from the rip. They were clever again, and they put the expensive feeling stuff where your hands usually go, and the scratchy bits down at the bottom there where, where your feet go, and they don't have that touch of class because, your feet don't know what luxury is. Yep. You have a 14-inch infotainment system, which with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, both wireless, and you have lots of physical buttons. Not too much of that touch screen faff. You also got a heated steering wheel. Nice. 12.3-inch digital gauge information cluster with a heads-up display. Now, this car has a driver attention detection system. I don't even think that's exactly what they call it, but it's got, you get the idea. It's this like sensor just behind your steering wheel here. It keeps an eye on the driver. It's quite cool. If you keep your eyes off the road, it gives a few warnings first. Now, these comes in the form of like beeps, and I'm not sure if the steering wheel vibrates or buzzes. Not sure about that. But if you keep looking away, it slows down and puts on the hazards and comes to a full stop and unlocks the doors just in case you're having an emergency. Now, I haven't seen it autonomously drive off the road just to get you out of harm's way, but I'm pretty sure that's the reason why it puts on the hazards and stops, just to let people know that, hey, something is wrong here, and you can open the doors, and if you're having an emergency, people can get to you and probably move the car out the way. Hopefully they're good Samaritans and not robbers who leave you on the side of the road and drive off with the car. Yeesh. That's dark. Now, you've got a dual climate control and a third climate zone in the back. Now, this whole climate zone thing in cars, to me, I'm sorry, but it feels like a gimmick. I've never really felt it work properly. And it feels just like, I think it's a gimmick, just like folding phones. Yes, I said it. You got ventilated and heated seats, a cooler box in the center console. Now, there's really nothing much at the back with the back seats, but the windows do go all the way down. Yay. It can be a 5-seater or a 7-seater, depending on the spec you want. The third row has to be occupied by kids, though, because, yeah, it's not that great space-wise, especially because of the raised floor at the back there where they put all that hybrid tech stuff. Speaking of the engine, you've got a 2.4-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder diesel engine that forks out 326 brake horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. It has a mild hybrid system that adds a tiny punch of about 11 horsepower thereabout. Now, it's not a full-on hybrid. It's just a, mild hybrid system. So don't worry. Your Grande Macho Prado is not turning into a Prius. Not yet. You've got 3 driving modes. Sport for the brave. Normal for the boring. Eco mode for people who I am wondering why you would even buy such a car in the first place. Now, It weighs 200 kgs more than your Aunt Lisa at Christmas. Sorry, it weighs 200 kgs more than the predecessor. Yes, sorry, yeah. I misread my notes there. Forgive me. And it has a 3.5 kg towing capacity. This is greatly affected by the load in the car, like the number of passengers and if they're on a diet or not. Moving on. You've got a 110-liter tank down from the 150 in the predecessor, split into an 80-liter main tank and a 30-liter sub tank. You can't separate the two as they come combined. How does that work? Don't ask me. Okay, just don't ask me. It's a drop in capacity, but the 1,000-kilometer range on a full tank is hardly anything to complain about. That's Harare to Bulawayo, and almost back again, just short of 300 or so kilometers, depending on whether your passengers are on a diet or not. It's an 8-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 100, you're looking at anything north of 11.3 seconds. It's a bit slower than the 10-ish seconds in the outgoing model. Okay, so it's slower and a bit less responsive than the outgoing model, but hey, look at it. Look at it. You've got crawl control and hill descent assist. Then you also have a 32-degree approach angle and a 17-degree departure angle. Not bad for such a bulky thing. Look, as much as it may be a bit of a detuned update, I personally think the trade-offs are too slim to shoot it down too much without giving it a proper chance, and hopefully there'll be more engine options to come. But since it's on the same platform as the Land Cruiser 300 series, I don't see it getting anything close to it for fear of chewing into the Land Cruiser's profit margin. But hey, one can only hope, hey? Maybe you want that big ass brawny Land Cruiser packed in a more compact SUV, maybe. But we can only just hope, man. Toyota, I hope you're listening. Now, what do you think of the new Toyota Prado? And which car would you like me to talk about next? I'm Brian Willis, no relation of Bruce.